fears. This video tells about worry and fear in Majjhima Nikaya 4, Bhayabherava Sutta. The presentation is simplified to be a little short but does not reduce the meaning. Bhayabherava Sutta tells of a Brahmin named Janasoni who asked the Buddha some questions while the Buddha was staying at Savatthi in Yeta's Grove, Anathapindika Park. The Buddha's answers and explanations in the sutta are as follows.
That is so, Brahmin, that is so. When family members leave the home life for homelessness because of their belief in me, they make me their leader, their helper, and their guide. And they followed my example. Living in the remote wilderness of the forest is hard to endure, seclusion is hard to practice, and it's hard to enjoy solitude. One would think the forest would surely rob a monk's mind if he lacked concentration. Those recluses are Brahmins who are impure in speech, impure in mind, impure in livelihood, come to abode in the remote wilderness of the forest, because of the defects of the impurity of their bodily actions. Those good recluses and Brahmins give rise to useless worries and fears. I came to abode in the jungle. I have bodily actions and livelihood pure. I have come as one of the noble ones with a pure life. Seeing the purity of living, purity of bodily action, I found great comfort in staying in the forest. The recluses or Brahmins are covetous and lustful, have hostile thoughts and hateful desires, are overcome by sloth and torpor, are overcome by restlessness and restless thoughts, doubt, praise themselves and insult others, submit to fear and terror, desire gain, reverence, and fame, lazy and lackluster, mindless and unwary, not concentrated and his mind wandering. I am not covetous, I have a mind of loving kindness, I am without sloth and dullness, I have a calm mind. I have transcended doubt, I do not praise myself and do not insult others, I am free from fear, I have few desires, I am passionate, I am firm in mindfulness, I have concentration. Ascetics or Brahmins without wisdom, braggarts, come to dwell in the remote wilderness of the forest, because of the defects of lack of wisdom and talkers of nonsense. These good recluses and Brahmins will give rise to unwholesome worries and fears. I came to dwellings in the secluded wilderness of the forest with wisdom, not as a talker of bullshit. I came to abode in the remote wilderness of the forest as one of the noble ones possessing wisdom. Seeing this wisdom in me, I found great comfort in dwelling in the forest. There are nights that are especially good at the 14th, 15th, and 8th nights of the fortnight. On those very good nights I dwelt in sacred places, frightening as altars in the garden, altars in the forest, and altars of trees. And while I dwell there, a wild beast will appear, or a peacock will break a branch, or the wind will rustle the leaves. I thought, what now if those worries and fears come? I thought, why am I dwelling always waiting for worries and fears? What if I conquered those worries and fears while maintaining the same posture as when they came to me? As I walk, worries and fears come to me. I do not stand or sit or lie down until I have conquered those worries and fears. When I stand, worries and fears come to me. I don't walk or sit or lie down until I have conquered those worries and fears. When I sit down, worries and fears come to me. I don't walk or stand or lie down until I have conquered those worries and fears. When I lie down, worries and fears come to me. I don't walk or stand or sit until I have conquered those worries and fears. There are Brahmin, some recluses and Brahmins who see day by night and see night by day. I say that on their side this is a residence in delusion. But I saw night by night and day by day. In fact, if it is said in regard to a person, a being who is not subject to delusion has arisen in the world for the welfare and happiness of many beings, out of compassion for the world, for the good, welfare, and happiness of gods and men, it is really in reference to me. The right words are spoken. Untiring energy arises in me and mindfulness without slack is established. My body is calm and undisturbed, my mind is concentrated and centered. Quite secluded from sensual pleasures, secluded from unwholesome states, I entered and abided in the first jhana, which is accompanied by initial thinking and sustained thought, with rapture and enjoyment born of seclusion. With calming thought and sustained thought, I entered and abided in the second jhana, which has self-confidence and one-pointedness of mind without thinking and pondering, with rapture and pleasure born of concentration. With the fading away of rapture, I abide in equanimity and mindful, still feeling pleasure in the body. I enter upon and abide in the third jhana, concerning which the noble ones say, he has a pleasant abiding which is equanimous and full of attention. With the abandoning of pleasure and pain, and with the previous disappearance of joy and sorrow, I entered and abided in the fourth jhana, which has neither pain nor pleasure and purity of mindfulness due to equanimity. When the concentration of my mind is so pure, bright, taintless, free from imperfection, malleable, pliable, firm, and attained to a state of imperturbability, I direct it to the knowledge of remembrance of past lives. I remember many past lives, namely, 1 birth, 2 births, 3 births, 4 births, 5 births, 10 births, 20 births, 30 births, 40 births, 50 births, 100 births, 1,000 births, 100,000 births, many eons of world decrease, many eons of world expansion, many eons of world decrease and expansion. There I was named, of that tribe, with such an appearance, my diet was like that, my experience of pleasure and pain was like that, the length of my life is so long. And passing away from there, I reappear somewhere else, and there I am of that name, of that tribe, with such appearance, my food like that, my experience of pleasure and pain like that, my life so long. And passing away from there, I reappear here. Thus with all its aspects and characteristics I remember many past lives. This was the first true knowledge attained by me in the first watch of the night. Ignorance is eliminated and true knowledge arises, darkness is removed and light arises, as happens in one who abides ardent, diligent and earnest. When the concentration of my mind is so pure, bright, undefiled, free from imperfection, malleable, flexible, firm, and attained to the state of imperturbability, I direct it to the knowledge of the death and rebirth of beings. With the divine eye, which is pure and surpasses man, I saw beings passing away and reappearing, lowly and noble, beautiful and ugly, rich and poor. I understand how beings proceed according to their actions. These beings who behave badly in body, speech, and mind, reproachers of the noble ones, wrong in their views, give effect to wrong views in their actions, on the breakup of the body, having death, has reappeared in a bad state. in the lower realms, in ruin, even in hell. But these beings, well behaved in body, speech, and mind, not reproaching the noble ones, of right view, giving effect to right view in their actions, on the dissolution of the body, after death, have reappeared in a good world, even in a good world, heavenly realms. Thus with the divine eye which is pure and surpasses man, I see beings passing away and reappearing, lowly and noble, beautiful and ugly, rich and poor. I understand how beings proceed according to their actions. This is the second true knowledge attained by me in the second watch of the night. Ignorance is eliminated and true knowledge arises, darkness is removed and light arises, as happens in one who abides ardent, diligent and earnest. When the concentration of my mind is so pure, bright, taintless, free from imperfection, malleable, supple, firm, and attained to the state of imperturbability, I direct it to the knowledge of the destruction of the taints. I immediately know as it really is, this is suffering. This is the origin of suffering. This is the cessation of suffering. This is the path leading to the cessation of suffering. These are the taints. This is the origin of the taints. This is the cessation of the taints. This is the path leading to the cessation of the taints. When I knew and saw thus, my mind was freed from the taint of sensual desire, from the taint of being, and from the taint of ignorance. When liberated, the knowledge arises, liberated. I immediately knew, birth has been destroyed, the holy life has been lived. What had to be done has been done, there will be no more becoming of any kind. This is the third true knowledge attained by me in the third watch of the night. Ignorance is eliminated and true knowledge arises. Darkness is removed and light arises, as happens in one who abides ardent, diligent and earnest. Now, Brahman, you may think, perhaps the ascetic Gautama has not been freed from lust, hatred, and delusion even today, so he still comes to abode in the remote wilderness of the forest. But you should not think so. It is because I see two benefits that I still come to dwellings in the remote wilderness of the forest. I see a pleasant abode for myself here and now, and I have compassion on future generations.
In this sutta, the Brahmin Janasoni finally says this.
Of course, it is because Master Gautama is a perfect man, a fully enlightened one, that he has compassion for future generations. Amazing! Master Gautama! Amazing! Master Gautama! Master Gautama has explained the Dhamma in various ways, such as establishing what is upside down, revealing what is hidden, showing the way to those who are lost, or lighting a lamp in the dark so that those with vision can see forms. I take refuge in Master Gautama and in the Dhamma and in the Sangha of monks. From this day on may Master Gautama remember me as a lay disciple who has received protection from him all my life.
Thus this video conveys the Bhayabherava Sutta in Majjhima Nikaya 4, which aims to make it easier to understand. Thank you to those of you who watched this video. See you again in another video on the channel, on YouTube. May you be healthy, live a long life, be happy, have lots of luck, love to do good, and are eager to live life with a peaceful heart.